Hi, my name's James. I was brought up in a Christian home and have been a follower of Jesus now for a lot of years. I was a child. As a child, I heard the story of Jesus, and particularly the part about him being on the cross and the Pharisees saying, "Come down off the cross and we'll all believe in you." And I thought, this is it. However, instead of doing that, I thought he was going to come off and do the whole Superman thing and knock the seven bells out of them. And instead, he said, "Father, forgive them." And I knew at that moment that he was God, because nobody human would ever say, "Father, forgive them." I would never say, "Father, forgive them." So from that moment on, I believed that Jesus was God's Son. And I suppose I counted myself as a Christian. I got confirmed as I grew up, grew a bit older, and I took it seriously. I did. I kind of wanted to be a Christian, but I kept God at a distance because I didn't want to have a boring life, and I perceived through church that following God was the recipe for boredom. At 17, I began to attend a Baptist youth club, and the leaders there were great. They had a real living faith, and they prayed all week about everything, and the love of God was visible in them. They gave out some Bibles, and I began reading Proverbs, and every time I read Proverbs, it would speak into my life. A lazy son brings disgrace to his mother, and I was working for my mum and dad, but only very loosely, very poorly. If you keep company with violent-tempered men, you'll become the same. And I'd seen that happening with some of my friends. And time and again, it seemed that the words of Proverbs, although 4,000 years old, still fit my life, and that was quite disturbing. I became conscious that I didn't really have a relationship with God, that I treated him very much as a fire extinguisher. When I was in trouble, outside the headmaster's office, for instance, at school, I would pray, but the rest of the time, God was not really much to do with my life. At 17, at the youth club, one night I knew I needed to sort this out. And I asked one of the leaders to pray with me, and I asked Jesus into my heart, and my life was completely transformed. I got the whole thing. I'd been sold a lie. I thought that my life would be boring with God, but in actual fact, Jesus said, "I've come to bring fullness of life," and that's what I discovered. My life became full in so many ways. I left school having been something of a failure at school, never achieved my potential. Since becoming a Christian, I've been to Oxford University and I have a degree from Oxford. I'm a qualified Baptist minister. I am also qualified as a teacher, which for somebody who didn't like school was one of God's little miracles. Another real blessing for me was he allowed me to go back to my childhood school and do a bit of supply teaching there. That was a joy. And in all sorts of ways, many things of my fears as a childhood, God has blessed me absolutely abundantly. And my life has been amazing. I've made good and bad decisions in my life. I've had bad things happen to me, I've had good things happen to me. But absolutely nothing compares with the decision to become a Christian. It's by far and above the best thing that I've ever done in my life. And if I could give a gift to you, that would be the gift that I would give to you. To become a Christian is a very simple thing. It's simply A, B, and C. Accept. We have to accept that we are sinners and that we can't get to heaven by our own efforts. I certainly couldn't, and I don't believe you can. To believe that Jesus was God's Son and that he died in our place, that we could be forgiven and have a new life, and then to confess him as Lord of our lives, ask him to come into our hearts and confess him as Lord of our lives. It's just that easy to do, and your life will take on a new direction, and like mine, yours will turn around as well. I wish you a good journey. Amen.